Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Break It Down. Let's continue exploring the Cronus Expanse. We may be heading towards Dargonus, but I think there's a system to our right on the galactic map. Latotian's Passage. So let's go here first, and then Mundus Valancius. Wonders of Nature. This Lone Mountain chain is composed entirely of a mineral with a shiny, mirror-like surface. The mineral itself has no particular value for production, but its properties make this place incredibly beautiful. The sky is brilliantly reflected in the many surfaces of the plateaus, oddly shaped rocks, stone arches, and columns. The view is especially stunning on clear, starry nights, when aurora trails dance in the sky. The enraptured crew have asked the Lord Captain's permission to visit this remarkable place. Grant shore leave. The shore leave passed without incident, and the ship's officers talked about it for weeks afterward. Lady Cassia spent a great deal of time in the Mirror Mountains. One cannot say whether it was in awe or contemplation. Upon her return to the ship, she spent several days in her quarters in front of her easel, but the canvas remained unmarked. As soon as you draw close to the unknown ship, it points its loaded cannons directly at you. Several other ships emerge in the shadows of drifting asteroids, tightly encircling you. Captain Xantha Labouche offers a mocking greeting and a proposition. You can buy your way out of this, but the price must be to her sole satisfaction. The outrageous suggestion sends your crew into a fury. You're in a no-win scenario. You can enter an uneven fight and lose everything, or shamefully pay to save your skin, sacrificing only your pride. You attack the nameless ship first to gain the upper hand. Gonna go down swinging. Don't they know who I am? We should have our escort ship with us too. I wonder if we still get the one from Dargonus. That's one of the reasons why I like to do Dargonus earlier, because you get an escort ship, which makes a lot of these battles easier. As I've mentioned before, the void ship battles are the most difficult in the game. Alright, we'll hang tight. I can't tell if that's shooting me in the side or the rear. Same with that one.
Another notch on the macro cannon.
Alright, only 2 ships left. And some torpedoes. Easy peasy. Hit him, buddy.
The impure tremble.
I have missed this feeling.
And we leveled up. I feel like we're leveling up faster with this ship this time, too. Alright, vulnerability scan. Flagship's augers are scan an enemy's ship to highlight its weak points. All damage dealt to a weak point is increased by 30%. Only one weak point can be highlighted at a time. Focused efforts allows the use of both abilities of one selected post for 1 turn. If one or both abilities are in cooldown, their cooldown time is reduced by 1 turn. And we took no damage. Also, we got that fireproof ceramic plating. Sorry, ceramite plating. Ceramite plating protects the vessel from harm, negating 5 damage on each side and reducing the damage dealt by internal fires by 50%. That doesn't pop up very often. It says that the torpedo tubes. Oh, with torpedo tubes on the prow. Wait, I have torpedo tubes on the prow. I need to figure out how to use that. Unidentified ruins. I think this is the crashed plague ship. We pretty much have our A team. I do think Cabello ended up being swapped out. Or actually Heinrichs might end up getting swapped out, though I do like Heinrichs. But this is our A team until we get our last companion, I think. Well, no, there's 2 more companions. Oh no, this is the puzzle.
The ruins are emitting faint psi energies. However, it does not pose a direct threat for now. But I advise that we do not linger here.
Your does not pose a direct threat, Van Calox. can be interpreted much too broadly for my personal comfort.
The ruins vaguely resemble the architecture of the Imperium, yet there is some subtle difference to these structures.
I always keep my options open.
The remains of unknown structures are haphazardly strewn about the plateau. Cracked Xeno chest. Small chest made from a strange material has no keyhole or any other openings. The murky crystal in the lid is cracked, but continues to glow inscrutably.
Is there money to be made?
That's going in my personal file. Not a problem for a proctor.
Well, it was a problem the first time, so I wouldn't say that.
Just in time.
I don't think there's a fight here, so I guess I'm gonna need a medikit.
Over there.
We should deal with this.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
This human skeleton is curled up in an unnatural position. Is inside a void suit with the hole burned right through it. Cracked Vox. A furious male voice is coming from the old Vox. This is Captain Trevor Durhath, calling the Bullion. Get your arses back to the surface and get me out of here, you craps. My guts may be fused to my suit, but I'm not dead yet, no matter how much you wish it were otherwise. A moment later, the raging tone gives way to strangled rasping. Hey, can any of you hear me? Respond. I'll pay double, just don't leave me here. Darn it. It was going so well. We even figured out how to open the first sphere thanks to the pattern on the floor. Yeah. Who knew there'd be so much trouble with the second one? I didn't. They didn't either. Cowards. The moment that beam was directed back, I was already lying with my guts turned inside out. They're running off with my goods. Oh. Emperor, you whoreson. Why'd you leave me like that? I'm scared. Oh yes. No, I don't want to die. Not alone. Aren't you supposed to watch over all your children? Quiet, you lot. Shut it already. I can't even hear myself. The recording is silent for a few moments. I can hear the sound of someone pounding the shell of a void suit with the recording device. I'm cold. I wonder if I'll die from lack of oxygen, or if my organs give out earlier. The darn god, the darn Imperium in the end. You will all serve the true masters. The human speech gradually deteriorates into an indecipherable mixture of howling and clicking sounds.
Keep your wits about you.
Uncover the pattern. A single look at this strange pattern is enough to send your mind reeling. Someone has carved a strange pattern in the floor. As you look at the lines, a fog descends over your mind.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Activate the pedestal. You said you know what you're doing? No. The beacon Psytech belongs to the ancient Xenos called Craves, monstrosities who enhance their mental control over entire planets with use of such devices.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Alright, so we need to make both these patterns. 1001, 1002, 1000, 1000, 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems the pattern no longer works.
Fascinating stratagem.
Just a minor setback.
No, I don't know what I'm doing. I explained that once already.
I'll take it from here.
Alright, so we do this, we'll make a line straight across. Like that. And this one we'll have go straight to here. The two across. And from here we need to go back to this. Like that. See, that resets it.
Do I detect doubt in your voice?
I figured this out the first time, I can figure it out the second time.
I've suffered worse.
Alright, so I can't do it that way. So if we start here. No, wait. Or maybe this is the backside. This might be the point. Either way, I'm on the right track with going straight across. Probably start on this side too. I guess it doesn't matter which way you do it. Like that.
My reckoning will be swift.
I always keep my options open.
Oh, does that make a difference or not? Alright. Start again. I wonder if I messed up here on the first one. That's the point, that we don't go straight across. I think, did I go straight across? I don't recall. It said the pattern couldn't be used again. There should be two solutions. Both of these are different solutions. We get two different rewards for it.
My mind is focused.
Let me try this one more time. I think I may have done it incorrectly on the first go. So this one should go... Yeah, okay. I did it right. Alright, so we just gotta make the star shape. So this is the start and the end point. Oh, so I actually need to go... Okay, I see. I need to go here first. Because it needs to come back to this point after leaving this point. So from here, it needs to go straight across here. Like that.
I serve the golden throne.
And then from there, it needs to go straight across. And from there, up. As usual, I was making it harder than it needed to be. And then this needs to just go back. There it is. Look at the jaws. And this is one of the, like, 2 unique Force Swords when the game first came out. The Ancient Force Sword. Whenever the wielder suffers energy, fire, power, or warp damage, the sword absorbs a part of that damage, reducing it by -3%. The wielder gains 3% armor penetration for their next attack, stacks. The sword deals additional 3 damage. And I'll probably use that to the end of the game, unless there's newer Force Swords I'm not familiar with.
Let us not dawdle.
Took longer than it should have, especially since I've solved that puzzle before. But I was using the wrong start point. For whatever reason, when I looked at it from the other angle, I was like, oh, that's right. It has to come back to where the beam actually starts. I'd like to go over here, but we'll just head back here. The enforcers from different decks of the Von Valancius vessel report a terrifying sight. The skin of some crew members has become translucent, revealing knots of muscle and blood vessels beneath. Worse yet, small spider-like insects were seen scurrying inside of them, snow white and sparkling like ice. Transformed could not see this phenomenon in themselves or anyone else, only occasionally complaining about a prickly feeling in their extremities. Some were branded as mutants and killed. Survivors reverted back after the vessel merged in real space. The warp releases from its embrace for now. Mundus Valancius. Alright, so this one, I've already mapped this out, never mind. Yes, I wouldn't mind. Well, let's just go ahead and hop into the system. We'll check out all the planets except for Dargonus itself. Oh, Lord Captain, Master Helmsman on the line. I can report that the quest for the capital world of the Von Valancius dynasty is finally at an end. Dargonus is straight ahead. We receive countless greetings. Your subjects would like to know when their master will be arriving. The merchant captains taking refuge in the orbital docks of Dargonus race to send you priceless welcoming gifts, hoping to buy your favor and to make an impression on the rogue trader. My subjects should exercise patience. I will go to Dargonus later. It will be done, Lord Captain. After the connection to the Master Helmsman is cut, the device crackles with Heinrich's voice. Lord Captain, I'll be pleased to accompany you during your visit to Dargonus. I can personally introduce Achilles Scalander, a servant of the Golden Throne who previously attended Lady Theodora on Dargonus. I am counting on your benevolence. Voxcast ends with a click. I can talk. How did this world look before it was developed in this fiery shroud? Was it your ancestors' Ellen talk? Who disgorged its core in some ill-considered act. I'll check out the Adeptus Mechanicus ship. Then Dargonus will be for next episode. Lord Captain, a transport shuttle bearing the markings of the Adeptus Mechanicus is approaching the ship. Magus Tarsus' delegation intends to board our ship and gain an audience with your lordship. This is exactly how they phrased it. He intends, not humbly requests. Many of my tech comrades neglect diplomacy when interacting with the laity. It is regrettable. What do they want? The honorable servants of the Omnissiah have ignored our request. Such arrogance is hardly trivial. It rather appears to be part of their intimidation tactics. Receive the delegation. They may indeed be here on important business. It will be done, Lord Captain. Requesting permission to be present at the audience granted to my tech comrades. Yeah, probably better him than Elliot. The group dressed in the crimson of the priesthood of Mars walks toward you. Their gazes are fixed on Pasqal. You note that the group is not monolithic. Some of its members are more heavily armed and follow a large tech priest clad in battle armor. Others keep a respectful distance and cast inquiring looks at their own leader, whose hunched posture belies his tall frame. Despite the hood hiding his face, you recognize him as Opticon 22, whom you encountered on Footfall. The enormous tech priest points his hand at Pasqal, lets out a booming roar not unlike a factory alarm. It makes your very bones vibrate. Herald silver skulls marked with the emblem of the cog follow in his wake. They blare shrilly. Thou shalt not suffer a heretic in thy forge, for rust begets rust. Pasqal Hanuman, in the name of the Adeptus Mechanicus, you are under arrest. Hunt Servant and the Omnissiah turns to you. Diplomacy mode engaged. Announcement. The Adeptus Mechanicus offer their apologies for... We'd like to inform you of the necessity of conducting an operation to detain, arrest, terminate a faulty unit on the Rogue Trader's territory. Salamorn folds his arms. Your accusation does not follow protocol. You have no authority on the Rogue Trader's ship. Do not account for Pasqal's status as a member of his retinue. Shall I continue, or is the inadequacy of your arrest clear enough already? These statements are true. However, I am prepared to answer my tech comrades' accusations. Further intervention from the unit Salamorn is undesirable for ideological reasons. Study the two tech priests of Mars. You identify the rare armor the enormous tech priest is wearing as a Secular's plated mechanized suit. It carries the imprints of many battles and has markings that announce its status as a relic. Some of the armor's damage looks fairly severe, to the point of endangering its operation. The slivers of flesh revealed under the steel are marked with terrible chemical burns. Every now and then, convulsions shake the tech priest's body, and a painful sounding hiss comes from his box. The tall tech priest who spoke to you looks more peaceful and makes a point of not drawing his weapon. There's an air of concern about the way he frequently glances over at his fellow, scrutinizing his condition. Who are you? In a burst of chattering, the Silver Skulls hasten to translate their master's mighty binaric cowl, an instrument of the Omnissiah authorized to punish and exact vengeance, known by the designation Tarsus Hanuman. Identification codes recognized and confirmed. These units are who they declare themselves to be. On what charge are you trying to arrest a member of my retinue? This heretic is accused of stealing personal identification codes, spreading tech heresy on the word of Kialva Gamma, and making an attempt on the life of a servant of the Omnissiah. The deafening roar from the tech priest box makes you grimace in pain. You touch your ear and notice blood on your fingers. The faulty unit will be removed. In the name of the Omnissiah, I condemn you. Lightning flashes across the warrior's armor. Agony resounds in the blare of his Vox alarm. In contrast, Pasqal speaks quietly and coldly. You are malfunctioning, tech comrade. I deem your logical conclusions questionable. The statement is false. The tech brother Tarsus Hanuman is willingly undergoing holy torment deterioration, which however does not critically affect his cognitive capacity for data analysis. Unit calling itself Pasqal Hanuman. We have information that implicates you. Having learned that you are a member of the retinue, a maintenance specialist in the service of Rogue Trader Von Valancius. We have come here with the goal of meeting you, intercepting you, engaging you in combat. Grimace. Does the big fellow have to roar? Negative. Upon completion of his sanctification procedure, Tech Brother Tarzus vowed modified his engrammatic augmatics algorithms in order never to desecrate, sully, tarnish his mouthbox cognitive process with flesh speak. The Silver Skull Screech. Mine is a pure and binaric tongue that preserves only what is true and shuns scrap data. Are you saying this bloodthirsty Hulk is a saint? This statement is true. Brother Tarzus has the honor of wearing authorization to wear the sacred battle harness that belonged to Magus Militant Auspector Gracchus, one of the first champions of the Faith Holy Scouts to join the cause of conquering the Cronus Expanse. Gracchus. I think Gracchus was a prominent Roman politician. I think he was one of the two brothers. Or no, they were the Gracchus brothers, the Gracchi, I think. And they were both very much for like the people, which made them very unpopular with the elites, and so they didn't make it. My memory's a little rusty on that. Anyway, after his death, termination of his vital functions at the hands of Xenos, his damaged Goliath class armor was preserved and given the status of a relic. The Adeptus Mechanicus regard this act as voluntary martyrdom self-destruction for the glory of the Deus Mechanicus. This battle harness is classified as Cogni armor. The machine spirit living in it is strong and wise, but it took major damage in the course of Magus Gracchus' last battle. Besides sacred litanies and imperatives of service to the Omnissiah, the armor broadcasts a continuous signal of suffering and agony into Tech Brother Tarzus' mind. Point to the feared servant of the Omnissiah. Do you have proof that this tech priest is who he claims to be? Confirmed. According to the archive entry 1E-99237, Magus Explorator Tarzus Hanuman served on and maintained the ship, identifier classified, and the capacity of a reliquary caretaker. He sustained extensive damage to both the organic and the sacred part of his body in a series of sacrilegious breaches of the right of operation, an assassination attempt. Owing to a statistically fortunate coincidence, by the Omnissiah's grace, enough of his operational capacity was preserved for him to don a Goliath model sacred battle harness, which would preserve his vital functionality. Archive entry personally data sealed by the captain of the identifier classified. The sound from the Tech Priest's box is like the moan of a bending steel beam. A Silver Skull declares, "For vengeance I thirst as I tread the path of vengeance, following a blasphemous miscreant's bloody tracks." Analysis of the security system showed that the assassins, heretics, infiltrated the reliquary using Tech Brother Tarzus' unique identification code. Someone had stolen, duplicated Brother Tarzus' identity, which is a grade 3 transgression, and the unit making the allegedly criminal claim of being Pasqal Hanuman is known to have previously entered the stolen code. Wait a minute. What is happening on Kiava Gamma? That planet belongs to me. According to Vox interception data, the planet's fabricator sensor made incorrect blasphemous modifications to Manufactorum working procedures, which qualifies as a lapse into sacrilege. The Adeptus Mechanicus are hereby officially notifying House Von Valancius of having commenced an investigation into Operation to Remove Fabricator Sensor Cubus Delphum. Estimated time to procedure completion 3.7 solar years. Our data suggests that the unit which used Magus Explorator Hanuman's identification code performed an unauthorized upgrade on the planetary box array and introduced data deemed to be scrap code into its operation. This fact points to this unit's criminal complicity with the heretic Cubus Delphum. What do you have to say to this, Pasqal? Pasqal replies firmly, his vox crackling with a hint of indignation. I deny these charges. I never plotted against my tech comrade. My cognitive purity vows were never distorted. My unique identification code was never stolen. I'm the true Magus Explorator Hanuman, and I am not guilty. The tech priest's deep, guttural roar blends with the Silver Skull's high-pitched whine, False witness. I'm not handing Pasqal over to you, unless I see evidence. Let us get to the bottom of this matter together. Request approved. Ready to work in cooperative mode. Tarsus gives you a haughty look, lets out a howl of wrath. Archiving. Tech Brother Tarsus opposes lay participation in the investigation Search for the Truth. Unit Opticon 22 advises in favor of the House Von Valancius representative's participation request. I insist on a joint investigation. Arresting a rogue trader's retinue member without any justification stands in breach of the law and my privileges under the warrant of trade. Request for cooperation reviewed and accepted. I request Tech Brother Tarsus' consent to the co-participation of representatives of the House Von Valancius dynasty in the investigation proceedings. A sacrilegious conspiracy. I refuse help from laypersons. I'm a cog of the Deus Mechanicus that grinds down corruption, and I'll carry out the sentence immediately. Pasqal freezes, but green sparks light up in his visor. He extends a hand toward Tarsus and replies in a clanging voice. Let the cycle be discontinued. Realize Pascal's words are coming from both his own Vox and Tarsus's. That every sensor on the Executioner's battle harness lights up at once, blindingly, and the wounded, armored Leviathan lets out a deafening roar of pain. Attention! Priority notification. Service units of the Kappa Thread supply line are unauthorized to confront the rogue trader. Command. Retreat and reinitiate negotiations. Heretic Pasqal, I'll wreak punishment upon you in the name of the Deus Mechanicus. Estimated probability something something.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Hold the formation. It won't take long. The order is clear.
Oh, he follows him if he knocks him back. That's cool.
Oh, if we consider this a taste of what's to come. I'll make it happen. You should have thought twice before crossing me.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
Alright, gonna mess him up, Cabela.
offering of blood. Killing brings me no pleasure. Trust me.
If I could get right here, that'd be extremely ideal.
For the throne's glory.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
All this buffing for one attack. Actually, I should have gone after this guy first, but whatever.
Indeed.
Glato, we're undertaking this task. Executed.
Good job, buddy.
Let's test our skills, Glato.
I'm ready for whatever comes.
Easy peasy. It actually was easy peasy. Requesting cessation of hostilities. Report to Tarsus. Help your brother. The unit that called itself Tarsus Hanuman is dead has been disabled. This material asset is beyond restoration or reuse as spare parts. After a pause, Pasqal bows his head. The binaric requiem pours out of his vox. Despite his misconceptions, he was a servant of the Omnissiah. Pasqal, what did you do to Tarsus? Pascal's confused reply comes from his vox in a rasp. Unable to fulfill request. The Omnissiah granted me an epiphany, and I muted the main machine spirit, thus filling Tarsus' mind with fury. I do not fully understand the manner of my appeal to it. The situation perfectly mirrors the incident on Rykad Minoris, where I appealed to the machine spirit of a malfunctioning mechanism and laid it to rest. I'm sorry that you had to kill a comrade. I also regret to have a negative assessment of this event. The Adeptus Mechanicus still accused the unit identifying itself as Pasqal Hanuman of criminal theft of a unique identification code. Unlike Tech Brother Tarsus, I'm not authorized to immediately arrest and execute the unit, but neither am I authorized to drop the inquiry. There are no apostates among us. The piercing voice from the Vox synth is more overwhelming than Tarsus' thunderous roar. Tech Brother Tarsus and the machine spirit that lived in his battle harness succumbed to the suffering that beset them. Their judgment was rash and erroneous. Now their torment is over. I declare them martyrs, and requisitioning Tarsus Hanuman's neuroaugmetic for the purposes of preserving his blessed memory. As astonished Tech Priest looks on, Pasqal leans over the slain man's body and extracts the augmetic from his skull. His movements are as precise as they are respectful. Pasqal? So my first playthrough, he survived. Tarzus didn't die. I don't know how I kept him alive. Maybe it was... Maybe I just didn't finish him off in combat. Like, I left him alive and took out everybody else. The Tech Priest makes an imperious gesture, stopping you from continuing. With each word, Pascal's voice grows more powerful and majestic. You saw the agony your tech brother Tarzus was in. His unbridled, pain-spurred faith intimidated you, yet you were silent. Reverence stopped you from raising your voices to proclaim that the machine spirit with which his mind had emerged was morbidly afflicted. The imperative of reverence had paralyzed your will, and you watched a tragedy unfold in silence. The sixth universal law states that comprehension is a true path to knowledge. Yet the procedural cycle has robbed you of your comprehension. Therefore, let the cycle be discontinued. There's a clang as Opticon 22's knee presses into the floor. Crimson Hood heads are bowed. Let the cycle be discontinued. The radiant light pouring out of Pascal's visor grows dimmer. Static creeps back into his voice. Let the cycle be discontinued, tech comrades. Pasqal, there is one small point I'm not clear on. What just happened? Pascal's Vox synth crackles somewhat tentatively. I decided to sustain my words with an excerpt from one of the blessed Amernat's sermons. On loss of internal and external function, verse 4. My analysis deemed it appropriate. What is the reason for this act of genuflection? It has been a long time since the words the Messiah of Discontinuing were last spoken, openly, over public communication bans. We respectfully welcome Wisdom's return. So he's not forgotten after all. The Messiah of Discontinuing. Is how you refer to Amernat. Following Archmagus, Amernat's partial laicization removal from the chain of command, that was the authorship attribution on a series of sermons on discontinuing the cycle that were disseminated across the Cognizance fleet. It was, in fact, a title used by many in times past. Is Amernat's teaching not heretical? This statement is false. Contrary to what many servants of the Omnissiah thought they knew, preferred to believe, the fleet's Supreme Conclave never issued an official statement on that decision. 37% of the Supreme Conclave's members openly supported Archmagus Amernat's views, and disappeared or removed from the chain of command, under circumstances that were classified. The Supreme Conclave has not had a quorum ever since. Do you know where Amernat is now? Data unavailable. No reports have mentioned Archmagus Amernat since the incident on the Mechanicus Hermetico, which led to the presumed disappearance of that void ship. My archive has no data on the Hermetico incident. The vessel was the blessed Amernat's base of operations. Is it lost then? Pascal's voice is filled with anxiety. Were you among his followers? Negative. I had no contact with Archmagus Amernat, was never a member of his flock disciples' retinue. However, my analysis of the doctrine he outlined inspired me in deep respect for, trust in him. I presume the conflict between you and Pasqal has been resolved. The data received provides a basis for calling the fallen tech brother Tarzus' hypothesis into question. Out of respect for, due to lack of authorization to indict, the followers of the Messiah of Discontinuing will not proceed with the detainment, arrest, termination. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Thank you, Tech Brother Opticon 22. Now that the conflict has been resolved, you may remain aboard my ship. Request denied. I wonder if that's a reference to PTS. The Cap and Thread supply line delegation is leaving Dargonus, expresses gratitude for the hospitality ceasefire, and proclaims its intent to return to Footfall to resume performing its regular functions. The Tech Priest looks over at Pasqal, as if waiting for something. Pascal's Mechadendrite briefly touches the shoulder of Opticon 22, who bows respectfully. shame I killed Tarzus. So my first playthrough, the first one we found on at the Cenobium, he died instead. This time this guy died. I think you can actually spare all of his
Is there money to be made?
buddies, I guess is a word for it. All the other Hanumans, essentially. I think there's 5 or 6. I don't want to spoil too much for his companion quest. His companion quest is pretty interesting. Abel. Yeah, Abel. So Abel, Tarzus, and there's a couple more.
My apologies. 19% of my processing power is engaged in the analysis of my tech comrade's memory. My response time may be longer than usual.
Pasqal raises his eyes from a data slate connected to an augmetic. That medic used to be housed inside the skull of Tarzus, the tech priest who perished on your ship. Have you found anything out?
The data is scarce. His identification code is the same as mine, and his memory contains data confirming that the assassination did take place. Unfortunately, some of his memory was damaged by pulses broadcast by his battle harness. I can assert with some confidence that he was who he claimed to be, and that he served the Deus Mechanicus earnestly and eagerly.
He gave off the impression of a paranoid madman.
Notwithstanding his permanent state of agony, he was not cognitively dysfunctional. His desire to immediately destroy the object he had deemed profane was partly dictated by his engrammatic augmetics, which were receiving imperatives from his battle harness. In light of the oddness of our matching identification codes, I find merit in his hypothesis as to the existence of a clandestine malevolent agent or conspiracy operating inside our fraternity.
Who do you think was behind the assassination?
No data available. I will hypothesize that the assassination was instigated by an enemy of the Blessed Amanat's doctrine. I accept the possibility that the assassins were targeting me, only to be led astray by Tarsus and my own identical identifiers. I am concerned about the fate of Archmagos Amanat. According to Opticon 22, he went missing in the wake of the incident on an Arch Mechanicus, the Hermetico. Information about that ship and its perishing has been purged from the archives. I accept the possibility that the incident on the ship, the concealed data, and the assassination have all been part of a single conspiracy.
Are you not surprised that Eminat's words had such an effect on Opticon 22?
I was not knowledgeable as to how popular Blessed Amanat's teaching was in exploratory circles. The Cognizance fleet is massive. His ideas might have found a larger following on its periphery than in the Mother Squadron.
Eminat was a believer, and he caused a schism. Tarzus was a believer, and he turned into a zealot. Faith can be dangerous.
Of course, faith is dangerous. Faith is the prerogative of the spirit, and a spiritless mind is an enemy of all existence. Without faith, there is no meaning in anything, no point to any aspirations or limitations. But faith can take different forms.
Pasqal looks at you askance. The voice of his Vox synthesizer takes on an otherworldly profundity.
The form of prohibitions established by unknown elders. The form of an audacious violation of those prohibitions. the form of following dogma or of schism, the form of following the cycle or of discontinuing the cycle. In a system with two courses of action, schism is inevitable, and only one of these paths will be true, as truth is discreetly separate from untruth.
Pasqal's visor seems to almost pierce you with its glow. Did Ammonites believe the elders to be in error?
Ammonites did not reject any one specific prohibition, but found their cumulative effect to be oppressive. The system of rigid limitations had confined seekers of knowledge to a circular track, spelling doom for the thinking mind. And that cycle of repetition had to be broken. That was why he was dubbed the Messiah of Discontinuing.
My faith is more than a mere set of rules. It consists of ideals, which sometimes come into conflict with dogma. I've been given the gift of will to set the dogma straight.
The Omnissiah has bestowed upon us the supreme mission, the quest for knowledge. The fact of its existence confirms that reason is yet to comprehend and quantify the universe in its entirety. This precludes the existence of any prohibition that could be considered universally relevant. All limitations need their exceptions, yet exceptions belie the inviolability of prohibitions.
Pascal's voice takes on a thoughtful tone, and its otherworldly might peters out. Perhaps you'll be able to find out more.
I will continue my research into the Blessed Martyr's memory with all due reverence.
Strange messages have been appearing in the ship's log. What do you know about this error?
This statement is true. Algorithmic violations have been recorded, as a result of which I twice performed an offering to the cogitators of corrected data vows and ruled out the possibility of sabotage. I hypothesize that the violation is a consequence of the discontent of the ship's machine spirits. I recommend a procedure of placation of the honored spirits for the glory of the Omnissiah and the steel angels sent by him. May your late...
Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and next time we'll land on Dargonus and reclaim our homeworld, or our capital. Not our homeworld, our capital world. But for now, thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys in the next one.